Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I'm putting the old Massey here that we found in the weeds right to the work. I've been stacking these bales with it. We'll talk about that setup here in a minute, because there's a reason we haven't finished the baling yet. However, between... you should see the weight I have on here. It's a barrel filled with concrete with an additional metal frame box filled with concrete on the back end of it, and it's just barely enough of a counterweight for this. But we've gotten a pretty good stack of bales out of the deal. Go. Alright. I'm gonna put this girl, this tired old girl here, right next to him. Oh, better start her back up again. Need to lower ye old weight. Apparently I did it without even thinking about it. I mean, look at it. Good habits. Alright. So... yes, let's jog over here. So we have a 4020 with an upgraded engine in it for 101 horsepower. This baler is a John Deere 100 that I bought off of the marketplace. I didn't realize quite how big this baler was going to be. I honestly think it's a little too big for us. And keep in mind, these are just grass bales. That's why they're immediately going undercover. But yeah, the 4020 struggles really badly with this baler, to the point that she gets hot. So I work it a little bit, and then I switch to stacking bales before I come back to it, just to let her cool down. Because we don't want to destroy our tractor. There we go. She's picking up. And we're just gonna do this last little bit. I do have some issues turning it because this baler is heavy, and it does tend to push this tractor around a little bit by lifting the front end off the ground. Just a little bit. She's just light on the front end. backing up. Let's go. So as you can see, she will do the job with this baler, but it's a little bigger than I was looking for, honestly. They're pretty good sized bales. And we'll have it eject the last few. Well, I guess the last one, that one didn't quite get finished. So we got a partial in there. That's probably gonna rot before I get around to more. But for now, it'll do. You know what? I don't even want to try to back this thing in there. I have zero visibility off of this tractor with that baler on the back end. Nice big train coming through there. Now the eagle-eyed among you. Uh-oh, I turned that too late, I think. Did I make it? Did I make it? Ho! Squeezed it. The eagle-eyed among you will notice that there's a bright orange tractor missing over there. Yes, the Alice has gone. I was posting about it on some web forums and whatnot, and trying to get some information, and was talking to a group of guys, and they seemed to have some pretty good ideas on what was wrong with it, and I decided that it was just too much for me, that it was more than I wanted to tackle. So I was telling them that I was thinking I might sell it rather than try to do it, and one of them immediately jumped on making me an offer. He's local to the area, well, semi-local. He's about an hour and a half away, and he came down, gave me $8,000 for it. I missed that one. Lined up good. There we go. So yeah, he offered me $8,000 for it, and I took it. I didn't even counter offer. I just took it. He was real awesome about everything. You know, he had been one of the ones giving me lots of good advice. Whoops. Lots of good advice, lots of information. Was willing to help out with parts if needed. So I just accepted his offer and decided to put it towards another tractor. Speaking of other tractors, the auction is soon back there in Ohio. Now, I am not planning on going to it in person, but they do offer online bidding, and I am going to partake. But I am going to drive up there. That's too high in the bale. I am going to drive back up there one more time, just to have a look at the other stuff that's there, and I'm going to take you guys with me. And in fact, I think we might do that next. I've got some other things to take care of around here. And pretty much free day tomorrow, so I think we'll head up there tomorrow, which is May 10th, I believe. And yes, I say I believe because I've kind of lost track of time. Been very busy trying to get everything sorted. So for now, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Today's the day we're going to run up and look at the auction. Beautiful, beautiful morning. Back up the house. So we are only going to look. That means that we don't need to bring the trailer with us. So I'm going to hop in the truck here and go for a ride, and I will see you guys up there. Okay, everybody, we are here. I decided to park up here in the shade, keep the truck as cool as possible. Let's shut her down and jump out and go have a look, yeah? So you can definitely tell more stuff has arrived, and they actually had to move the helicopter out of the way. So, more modern version of what we have, but interestingly, it's hooked up to a New Holland head there. I'm not sure what that's all about. Nice, beefy, modern John Deere. That's definitely going to go for more than we can afford. And those Massies that I was talking about arrived up front here. This guy's quite similar to what we have. Only it has a cab. And it's a 240 instead of a one... What did we find? No, we found a 135, not a 165. That's right. And here's a 185 that's been turned into a sprayer. That's pretty interesting. In fact, I might be interested in that. There's another more modern tractor with front loader. I thought our baler was big. Whew! That's some big old kit there. 253, a 135, very, very similar to what we have. What is this guy? 35X. Not familiar with it. Old tractor, though. Very similar to the 135 and 253 here. I mean, they're all these early Massies are very similar. They've moved some stuff around because these two were in a different spot before. Loud old truck. Oh, wow. Look at that deer right there. Oh, it's coming towards us. It seems completely oblivious to my presence. That's so interesting. Anyway, as much as I enjoy watching the wildlife, I don't have all day for that. And it looks like the camera needs a battery change, so I'll be right back. And we're back with a nice fresh battery. So we've got some Kubota equipment here. That's an odd looking tractor. Side by side with extra seating, skid steer. I'm not real familiar with the Kubota units, but I don't want a wheeled skid steer, so we're probably still interested in that tracked Bobcat. If it's... Is that even still here? Wasn't that over here? Yes. Right there. We're probably still interested in that. Grain truck's kind of interesting if the price is right. Now here's something that's nice. Our baler's a little too big. These two both look like they're much closer to what we're interested in. Unless, of course, we get a big old tractor, right? I mean, the odds, pardon me, the odds of us winning one of those big tractors is pretty nil. Interesting tanker here. Looks like they shifted around these Alice Chalmers too, because there was two together and then one back there, and it's not back there anymore. There's the chisel plow, I think they call that. Oh, there's that Kenworth. Oh yeah. So some grass equipment. That would be kind of nice to have. I'll go over this trailer here. Couple of big modern tractors. A Kinsey Cedar. Another one of those cultivators. There's one, if you recall, up there along the front fence line. Huh. This looks like our grain drill, really. It's like our cedar, but in case. It's got to be very similar. It's even got the same kind of slide outs and hookups. I wonder if they would work together. That would be quite the dichotomy. People would probably hate me. I am interested in these gravity wagons. Still interested in the combine. Interested in the Kenworth, but you know that's going to go out of my price range for sure. 620 is a maybe, you know, I mean. And a trailed combine wouldn't go amiss. I'd probably want this forage box for it though. This guy here. If that can even hook up, that takes a PTO. Does this? Because that's a chopper. Does this have a rear PTO on it? It does not. So that wouldn't work. But one of those gravity wagons behind it would work. There's a nice sprayer that we'd probably be interested in. Manure spreader as a possibility as well. These two, of course. And the little monster 110 here. If that goes cheap enough. That's more just a have it because it's cool. Interested in these two Olivers here. The pair of 18... I think they were both 1855s, is that right? Or is my memory playing games? That's an 1855. Yeah, they're both 1855s. One's a four-wheel drive, one's a two-wheel drive with a front-end loader. Which they did find and bring, apparently. Or supplied another one to try to make it sell for more. So, yeah, there's definitely a few items here that we're interested in. Might be interested in these two Alice Chalmers as well. Just all depends on what they go for, of course. And, you know, we already talked about the plow truck. Just to keep our land clear without beating up the big truck. Oh, anything over here? You know, pretty much out of this batch of farm alls over here, other than if one of these goes cheap, which is doubtful, but if one of those goes cheap, I might be interested. Probably interested in this 1586. It's about 150 horsepower, I think, if I recall correctly from tractor data. Maybe the 560. If the 706 wasn't a high clear, although I guess if we were doing corn, yeah, I don't know. They can keep that that Alice right there. No, thank you. That little corn planter might be our speed at the rate we're going with things. I wonder if there's any difference between this one and the other one. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 across and 3 rows. That's 12 tines, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tines, I guess. Is this one over here any different? Oh yeah, I can see immediately this one's wider. Yeah, it's got frame extensions along the sides of it. Yep. Gives you 4 extra tines in the ground. But, of course, conversely, that requires more horsepower. So, well, the auction is on the 15th. That's 5 days from now. We will see if we can win anything. I'll put in my bids. I have a decent amount of money still to play with. But, yeah. I don't know what we're going to end up with. I'll see you guys back at the house. Hello again, everybody. It is the 13th of May, and as you can see, it is pouring outside today. I came down here. I drove down in the truck because of the rain, but came down here because I wanted to show you guys our new fence. I had all the old fencing removed and some new fencing installed. Now it does come up to the barn, and of course it all might change in the future depending on what we do at the barn. I'm considering having it torn down, so if we do that, this fence will be getting adjusted right out basically to the edge of our property, and here where I have it set back, I would probably, well, we have to leave access to the stop sign for city maintenance workers if they have to do anything. So I'd probably cut. Well, you know, we can't block the power lines either. I'd probably just bring it out on a small angle and run right along the inside of the power poles here, basically. Of course, we might be putting another building in the place of this one as well. And before I get too wet here, let's go back in the barn. So, I will see you guys sometime after the auction when we know what we've won. I might even wait to see you until I get up there to bring them back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Back at the auction. Lots of stuff gone. Lots still here. So what did we win? I'm going to be honest. More than I expected. Quite a bit more than I expected. In some ways, unfortunately so, because I have an accidental double purchase. So we won this Massey sprayer. The self-propelled one, right? Cool. We also, back here, somewhere, there it is. We also won that John Deere trailed sprayer right there. Whoops. We didn't end up getting this 110, believe it or not. Somebody paid through the nose for it. $8,500. I was only willing to go up to $1,500. Got way outbid. The 4320 is ours. No, the 9570R is not. As much as I would love it. The A is not. The 620 is ours. The Alice Chalmers cultivator here, ours. The Kinza planter, ours. The John Deere baler and wagon, ours. All three of these gravity wagons are ours. Oh right, wrong one. Panic for a moment. 1586. Unfortunately, I got outbid on this. But that's okay. It really is. It's okay. The chisel plow, the smaller of the two, is ours. And we did get the Bobcat. I paid more than I wanted to for it, but we got it. It's ours. Oh, yes. They are both ours, guys. I won them both. You don't want to know for how much, but I'm going to tell you anyway. 17 thou a piece. Yeah, you heard me. 17 thou a piece. Now, I know these are worth it because I've seen the service records. And did I remember that the combine is ours? We are actually here to get the combine onto the trailer. If, you know what are we doing? This is just grass behind us. We've been told we can drive on it, so let's drive on it. This is what we're taking home this trip. We will have to, of course, make several trips. Emily's actually getting a ride up here with a friend who is going to somewhere in Pennsylvania. They're going to drop her off here. Boy, that is one wide load. And I am crooked as all get out. How do you guys like this view with the drone, by the way? Careful. Careful. Yes, I have the drone up in the cab to on my phone, well, on my phone that's attached to the drone's camera. Just just to make it easier for me to do this. And yes, I need to lower the header. Alright. Strap that guy down. And we are going to try to fit the Bobcat right up on the back end. Now, the downside, of course, to winning all this stuff is what we paid for it. And the fact that we are pretty much broke now. Tuck this right in underneath of that. Alright. Get this strapped down as well. Let's lift the dovetail. That ought to do. I better put my tailgate up too. I didn't realize I'd left that down on accident. Alright. So we are all strapped down to head home with this load. But we have some other things that we need to do before we go. So I started telling you about Emily's going to get dropped off here. She's actually going to bring home this plow truck and the 3 gravity wagons over there. So we, yeah. Sorry about the quick pause there, guys, on the recording. Hit the wrong button on the camera. But we are having some issues with the truck here. It was definitely misrepresented. The transmission is shot. So, yeah. Not sure what we're going to do about that. I didn't pay much for it. 500 bucks. Plow's worth that, but it doesn't go on my truck. So, alternatives. I'm going to turn the camera off here for a little bit while I think, guys. I'll be back. Okay, everybody. That was a stressful hour making phone calls and staging equipment. I've staged everything that belongs to us up here. Boy, that's a lot of equipment. I really did win more than I expected to. But yeah, so I've staged everything that belongs to us up here. Of course, other than what's on our trailer. Emily has canceled her trip with her friend from school. And instead, I have paid a delivery company to bring everything down. We just don't have time. Everything has to be off the property by end of day tomorrow. I don't have time to make all of these trips. Even if Emily was to come up here and be okay, which I'm not okay with her doing this, but be okay with driving that road train worth of gear back behind the 1855 four-wheel drive there at 20 mile an hour all the way back home. I'm not okay with her doing that. So that's not happening. Ooh, I'm a little close there. So I guess, oh, it's been a long day already, and day's not even over. I am going to head home with this load, and I will see you guys back at the yard, or at least when we're close to home anyway, because I need to make some tracks. It's getting late in the day already, later than I wanted it to be. And all of this should be delivered in a couple days' time, they say. And they are on the hook for the fees incurred if they don't have it off the property by end of day tomorrow. So that's on them. Contract signed, done deal. And yeah, that is going to be it until I get home. See you guys there. Welcome back, everybody. We're playing the game again, but I'm not so tired this time. Riding the edge of the road. Let's avoid the ditch, though. That combine's quite the wide load back there, and I don't necessarily trust all the other drivers around here. So we're just taking it slow. We'll wait till this guy goes past. There we go. Yep, because we're going to actually take the road that's pretty rough. Oh boy. Well. Really? You're going to hang around? What is your problem? Am I not off the road far enough? Yeah, I hear you honking. I am off the road. I am significantly off the road. How much farther do you want me off the road? I mean, goodness. These people, I tell you. Now am I even going to be able to get around that pole? Yeah. I think I'll just stay right here in the ditch. Let all these idiots by. Hopefully I'm not damaging this farmer's crop. I know that header's brushing against it, but... Wow. It's a lot of traffic today. Let's make tracks while we can make tracks. Buddy, I got nowhere I can go here. What is with people today? My goodness. And this is why I don't trust them. Baseball going on. Oh boy. This will be interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to turn off the camera and go talk to this idiot. And probably the guy behind him, too, at the rate things are going. I'll be back. Alright, we are back. Oh, man. What a nightmare that was. Get the old combine warming up. Oh, didn't actually start it. Alright, everything's warming up. Let's see, raise the old header. That's a problem. I must have missed the scrap. Alright, I think that's got it. There we go. And we will just put this away here in the old barn for now. I'm not sure where everything's going to live in the long run, but for now. Oh, I do love a good skid steer. Boy, that combine is loud, isn't she? That was entertaining and terrifying. Shut her down there. Alright, everybody. I think that's enough excitement for one vlog here. I think this one's going to be a little longer than I'd like it to be, even after I edit things out. But, yeah. And we will probably start off the next one when the other equipment arrives. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.